How would you describe the value of a team bonding trip like this at this moment in camp?
Yeah, this has been great. It's something that by having a longer camp gives us this opportunity, and I think it's really important. It kind of takes guys with families and kids and have responsibilities in the city. It's hard sometimes to get around the guys, so this gives us a chance to all spend time together outside the rink, and we have that on the road, but at home it's hard to replicate. So it's a great trip and something I think holds a lot of value.
How would you how would you describe Peter Mrazek's personality?
Very outgoing guy, very confident guy. Seemed to really fit into the group quickly. Just a guy that I think likes to have a good time and have some laughs, but also gets really serious on the ice and is very competitive. So he's been a great addition so far.
With that said, to the first question, you guys ready to get things going now with this part of camp?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this has been great though. I think it serves a lot of value and it's kind of given us another little jump in our step, I think, to break up the monotony of just being at the practice rink and kind of going through a normal camp. So I think that's been awesome. But yeah, you start looking towards game one now, as much as you don't want to, and you tell yourself not to. You definitely start getting excited knowing that the real games are coming.
Mitch was saying that he enjoyed getting to know Peter Mrazek through the golf. Is there someone you got to know a little bit better on this trip, and if so, how so?
Yeah, I try to do a pretty good job of just trying to get to know guys, around the rink. But I spent the day with Nick Ritchie on the cart, and he's a great guy, and we had lots of laughs. So we had a great time. He's a heck of a golfer, and it was fun just riding around. And he likes to talk shop a little bit, so it was good. We talked lots of hockey and had lots of laughs. So it's a guy that I was happy to spend a lot of time with.
So he's kind of like a bit of a hockey nerd like you.
Yeah, he is. I know his brother Brett from Dallas, so I knew Nick a little bit, but just getting to know him. But yeah, he watches lots of games, and he's a hockey guy, so definitely someone I get along with.
How competitive is the golf when you all get out there together?
It turned more competitive than we professional athletes doing anything. It usually turns competitive. So yeah, it got competitive.
Speaking of competitiveness, how competitive was this camp in terms of guys competing for jobs coming in based on compared to the other 20 years of your camps?
Well, it seems like every year you're fighting for a spot and fighting for where you are in the roster, and this year we have lots of great depth options, and I think that we've brought in a lot of good people, and competition is good, and I think it's important that we help each other out, and we want to be a great team, but also that you want to bring it every day to compete, and that holds the team to a high standard, and I think that's kind of what we've created here is some good healthy competition, but also guys want to help each other out.
You played in front of a lot of goalies in your time, a lot of tandems, a lot of things that worked. What did Jack and Peter have to do in your mind to make a goalie tandem work?
Well, I think they're already doing it. They work together. They talk. I think they talk a lot about how they want to approach practices. I think you encourage the other guy when he's playing. I think there'll be dialogue throughout the season on different shooters and working together. And with 82 games and how fast the season happens, you need two goalies and you need them to work well together. And we're fortunate to have that. So I think that knowing Soupy's personality, he's a guy that gets along with all his goalie partners. And Pete, I've heard great things about. So I think it'll be no problem. It'll be seamless for those guys.
How have you seen that role kind of adapt and change through the course of your career? Correct me if I'm wrong. It seemed like there used to be more of a set 1 and 2 guy unit.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you seen that kind of evolve?
Well, I think that just speaks to the competitive balance of the league. I think you kind of had your lesser teams, expansion teams, teams that were maybe a little more sure of a win in the standings, and you'd play your backup against those teams, and the head guy, the lead guy would play 65 games. Marty Brodeur playing 70 plus games. I think those days are kind of gone. The league is so competitive. It's so tight every night. The team that's in 32nd can beat the team that's in first, and the parity is incredible. So I think that shows why you need a goaltender to feel fresh all the time and not just ride a guy for so long, I think.
Looks like Austin's getting pretty close. How's he looking to you?
Looks pretty good to me. I don't know. You guys still the same practices. I think he'll be all right at some point.
Is this your first time in the area? What are your initial thoughts?
It's not my first time. I've married a girl from Huntsville, so I've spent quite a bit of time up here. So great place. I think the people are so welcoming. They respected us and gave us lots of room and privacy, but just everybody's in a great mood. Everybody's very respectful, and just I think it really speaks to just the communities around here and how passionate about they are. And I think they wanted to show us a good time, and they did.
How tough was it going into the off season this past year? How do you feel
Well, it's tough coming off a loss like we had. Definitely stung, and I think it created a lot of motivation for a lot of us. So I felt like it was a big step for us to use this as motivation this summer. And when you lose early like we did, it's a long summer and it's a grind, and you don't like those. So you want to shorten the next one up.
Thanks, Jake.
Thank you.
Thank you.